What's up everybody, Cynical Vapes are back at with you today, and today we are going to be doing something a little different. We're not going to be doing a review, we're not going to be doing a vlog, we're going to be doing a little tutorial. What are we going to be teaching you guys today? We're going to be teaching you guys a little bit of Ohm's Law, battery safety, and building coils. Because in order to build a coil, you first must understand battery safety and Ohm's Law, because they all tie into each other to keep yourself safe and having fun. So, I'm going to start this off by a question that was asked today by a community member of a local provincial, I guess you could call, group. Found it here. The question stated, what wattage do mech mods output? Isn't it like 40 watts for an 18650? Obviously the second part of that is not really correct. Because on a mech mod you are unregulated. So how it works, this is the answer that I gave him. Is basically Ohm's Law determines your wattage on a mech depending on the ohm of your coil and the voltage of your battery charge. So Ohm's Law states that your wattage, your resistance, your voltage, and your current, which is your amps, is all mathematically related to each other. So with some fancy calculations, if you have either two of those four values, you can find out the other two. So basically, if you have your resistance, your ohm of your coil, and your voltage, the charge of your battery at full charge is 4.2 volts, you can figure out the amps that you're going to draw from your battery along with the wattage that that coil is going to produce. So with the example I said, let's go a little bit ahead now. This is the first thing I wanted to show you, which is a little Ohm's Law chart that you can find on Google. It'll give you all the formulas to help you understand it a little bit better if you really wanted to do that. But most people usually just go and find an Ohm's Law calculator so they can work all that out. So basically what I started with is, if you wanted to figure out, his question was, what does the watts put out on your mech mod? So your watts equals your ohms, your resistance, times your volts of your battery. So if you have a 2 ohm coil, which you're driving at 4.2 volts of full charge, you're going to push 8.4 volts, or 8.4 watts. You understand what I mean there? So as we get a little bit further deeper into it, what we need to do for safety is, because all of our batteries have what we call a continuous max drain limit, which is how many continuous amps we can continuously draw off that battery before we cause the battery to start going into thermal runaway and causes the vent, all that bad stuff. So with Ohm's Law, you can use the volts and ohms to calculate your amp drain to make sure it's within your battery limits, and then know what the wattage is that you're pulling. Or say you know the amp limit on the battery, you can figure out the safest, lowest ohms you can have. So with an example, as of right now, I'm going to be using the Samsung 25R, which has a spec of 20 amps limit, continuous amps. So with 4.2 volts on a fully charged battery, Ohm's Law calculates that I can build a 0.21 coil being the lowest safest ohm before it will cause it to go into thermal runaway if you start really pushing it. So with that being said, when you punch it into your calculator, it comes out that that would be just roughly under 80 watts. So the deal is, we need to build a coil for this Samsung 25R. It can't go below 0.21. Generally speaking, when I'm building for mechs, I'll usually add a 0.02 to the target resistance as my lowest safest. So generally speaking, with ohms calculator and all that crap, I can wrap a 0.21 coil. But with my personal safety and what I like to do with that extra 0.02, I can build then to a 0.23, and I know I'm perfect. So what we're going to do, with that being said, hopefully you understand a little bit more about Ohm's law and how it works and how you should safely build a coil for the battery you're using. So what we're going to do is we're going to go dive down close. I'm going to set up the gear. I got my Mutation X all ready to go. We're going to put a build in that. And we're going to show you how to wrap a coil. We're going to use Cloudbox as an app on my phone for figuring out your tire resistance and how many wraps you should use for what gauge you're using and all that. So we'll go ahead, we'll show you guys how to put a build and a dripper, basically show you all that, and explain some more safety along the way, and hopefully whatever comes to my mind about it all, it comes to me, and hopefully by the end of the video, you're not bored, you know how to build a coil, you feel safe doing it. Because that's the main thing, is being safe, but having fun. So as of right now, I got my tugboat on my mech. Rocking out a little build on this while I build this one, but I'm going to set it up so this battery is going to be good to go. Throw it in, get it in there, get my mutation on this, and we're going to go for the lowest build we can possibly go for, and see what kind of cloud she can chop. Have a little fun. So without further ado, let's go down, dive down, we'll get busy. I'll show you all the tools that you're going to need to build a coil, and how to do it. So let's go. Alrighty folks, welcome to the desktop area, and we are going to go through the processes of building a coil and talking about the safety of building that coil and your safe ohm limits and all that jazz. So the first thing we are going to do is talk about everything you need to build a coil. So obviously you need your atomizer. Back out. And this is what I have basically pieced together. I've taken my little Ego case that I had with my first starter kit. When you open it up, first thing is my package of cotton bacon, which I have some Japanese cotton and cotton bacon stuffed in there. I have 26 and 24 gauge Canthal. Then here we have some scissors for cutting cotton, some tweezers for pinching your coils, I can get this out, some nail clippers for cutting your wire, my Allen key for my grub screws for the mutation, and assortment of screwdrivers for wrapping. And this is the 2.4 millimeter one that I always use for wrapping with. And that's all I need. So today we're going to be building a 24 gauge, so I'll pull out that, put the rest of this aside. So that's pretty much all that. You can see is nice and neat. For you guys, that will probably never be really like that again. Oh well. So there we go. We got our wire, We got our cotton. We got our tools we need. Normally use an ohm reader. I got my RDNA. That's reads ohms at 2 digits, so it's fairly accurate. You can use that fine for reading. So today, I said earlier when I was up top that I was going to build for a Samsung 25R, but none of them are really fully charged, and I just got the fully charged on VTC4, so we're going to use that instead, which means we can build a little bit lower because it's a 30 amp discharge battery, not a 20 amp discharge battery. So basically, as I have it here, I don't know if you can see it, probably not. There we go, I got it worked out. 3.6 volts, 30 amps, so I can go to 0.12. So what I'm going to do is probably aim for like a 0.18. So what I'll do then is bust out my Cloudbox calculator, put in my gauge, put in my diameter, put in my target resistance, and hit calculate, and all will come up. And I need to make 2 wraps, or 2 coils at 6 wraps each to give me that target resistance. So what we'll do is get ourselves some Canthal going here. One second. Almost chucked it. And this is what happens to Canthal rolls, because it's springy as shit. So we're just doing 2 basic coils, so get a bit of 1.5 foot, do you? I'd say. If not, you can always cut more. It's not that big of a deal, it's only wire. And shit. Get that through. Side. That's the 24 gauge Canthal. Just trying to get it straightened out a little bit. There we go. Alrighty, so what we need to do is start our wraps. Someone's texting me. We can wait. So we're going for 6 wraps. So this is what I like to do. Get a little bit started there. Don't worry about, make sure you have enough to pinch and be comfortable with. See if I can get this a little bit closer for you. So what we're going to do is start our wraps. 1, 2, 3, whoops, whatever that was, 4, 5, 6. What we can do then is take this lead, pull her down, tighten her, squish her down a little bit. Don't worry about spacing too much, we'll get that dealt with when we get it installed in the RDA. I can spend 15 minutes playing with this coil and make it perfect, but that's good enough for the video. So that's 1 coil, 2, cut it off there, let's put that aside for now. Get ready for our other coil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lay down there. Pinch them. Straighten out your leads a little bit. Oh, flicking everything everywhere. Chop that off and deal with it right now. Alrighty. So what I'll usually do then is flick them around like that. Try and get them as neat as possible while they're on the RDA. That's pretty good. So there's two coils that we're starting off with. Mutation time. Top cap off. That part. Ba-bam. So build deck on our mutation. Pretty nice to work with. Get this. What I usually like to do is make sure these are nice and open and backed out. So you got lots of room in your post holes, so you're not struggling trying to punch stuff in through the holes. There you go. Not bad. Okay. So that's that. What I like to do is when I know I'm going to get the coils installed, put it on and try and bend these up a little bit so you can kind of do the scoopy action so the ends are not beaten off on the inside of this. It's always good to cut one lead shorter than the other, it makes it easier installing as well. So that looks pretty good right about there. Tighten your leads down. Up a little bit. Don't worry about coil positioning too much. We'll get into that after. What I like to do now is take these. Fucker wants to be stubborn. Clip them off out of the way. There we go. Turn that around. Get your other coil on the driver. Get it all rigged up. See, this is the issue I find. This deck. You're always beating off that other coil. Kinda gotta work your way around it a little bit. There you go. Let's put the same on the other side. Tighten these down. Blah blah blah. Yeah, boy. go, nice and tight. So I'm positioned a little bit better. And we'll clip these leads. Fine, I usually do this trick. Oops. Dropping shit. To get that last lead on the inside there, look, see? That's kind. So there you go. There's 2 coils in the deck. So what we'll do, screw it on the Vapor Shark. See what she's reading. Tighten these down a little bit more. I'm pretty sure she should be reading a lot lower than that. .27. So that's that. Alright, let's get this rigged up on here. That actually ohmed out to be 0.27. I don't know why there's such a difference. Did I use the right wire? Yeah. Different. Not sure what's going on there, but oh well. So obviously when you're putting this on the mech, you got to do all this BS. Let's get these guys a pulse. Oh, we're out of focus. Alrighty, so now that they're pulsing, we found the tweezers that I lost. And make sure you don't lose the RDA. So give them a good pulse. Squeeze them together. Give them a good pulse. Squeeze them together. They look half decent. For now, so what you want to do, I don't know if you can see that yet. Nice and positioned. Bad. Pulse and squeeze. Pulse and squeeze. Make sure they're nice and even, no hot spots, all that jazz. It's kind of going a little bit. If one happens to go a little bit quicker than the other, chances are it's one of these posts could be tight, need to be tightened a little bit. Ah, yeah. Looks good. So what we'll do, we'll unscrew this back off of here. Put it back on here. And we're going to do some wicking. Just grab whatever favorite cotton you like. Today I'm going to use this Japanese cotton. Thanks to Scott Whalen for hooking me up. And we're just going to cut 2 strips like this. Follow the grain. So that way you get the perfect wicking. What I like to do then is just kind of play with it a little bit and twist it up real nice. This piece might be a little bit too big. Feed it through. Same thing with the other side. Feed it through. There you go. Trim your cotton. Whoops. What I like to do then is just use my tweezers. Go on. There you go. There you go. One beautifully wicked mod. Now this is cotton and this is Canthal. When it's after being wicked, do not fire it. So there you have it, folks. That is how you build a coil safely. I'm missing the part where I actually juice my wicks. I'm not sure what actually happened to that. But it's pretty simple. You make your wicks damp, put some juice on there, pulse it a little bit, helps draw down there a little bit, get it nice and saturated, and then fucking fire your top cap on there and you're good to go. Drip a bit more on there if you need to. Oh, and I need to make a correction. When your battery's charged, your battery outputs 3.6 volts, not 4.2. That is a correction I need to make there. So when you're inputting that into your Ohm's law calculator, make sure you actually put in 3.6 volts, not 4.2, to work out your lowest ohms that you can do. So that being said, I'm sure I missed something along the way. If I did, comment on the video. Or holler at me on Facebook and say, oh, you fucked up, and I'll somehow make that correction in a future video, or I'll update the description in the video or something down in the crotch box for all that jazz. So with that being said, that's another video for you, and Signal Vapesta is signing off. And make sure you have fun building them coils. Don't forget, battery safety. Yeah. Peace out, everybody.